The grid of 285 jumbled up letters that appear on this 19th century tombstone make a playful reference to a very special kind of word puzzle invented by the ancient Greeks. Find out where I am and how to crack the code in just a few moments' time. On today's show, I'm helping a pair of book lovers make a return to the country of their birth to find a property with enough space for a library. Along the way, one of the houses is just too tantalising.
I'm completely gobsmacked.
But his temptation on a stick.
Isn't it just?
And the mystery house does the impossible before they even step inside. What marks would you give that view?
Oh, 10.
Oh, no. 14 out of 10.
14! Today I'm in Monmouthshire at St Mary's Priory in Monmouth, and this headstone features a puzzle known as an acrostic. Now, to read the inscription, you have to start at the centre at the letter H, and it can be read in various ways. Here lies John Rennie. A house painter by trade, Rennie died at the young age of 33. His unusual tombstone hints at him being quite a character. Indeed, he was a founding member of the Oddfellows Friendly Society. In fact, Monmouthshire's history and geographical position gives it a certain individuality. Monmouthshire is bordered by the Welsh county of Powys to the north and the English counties of Herefordshire and Gloucestershire to the east. It was finally recognised as part of Wales in 1974 and is the fourth smallest of the Welsh counties. In the north of Monmouthshire and rising to a height of 2,000 feet are the Black Mountains, which form part of the Brecon Beacons National Park. And straddling the border with England to the east is the meandering Wye Valley, an area of outstanding natural beauty. The two main centres are Chepstow with its historic castle, which dates to the 11th century, and the county town of Monmouth. Its grand civic architecture includes Agincourt Square, home to one of the finest Georgian shire halls in Wales. And the Monnow Bridge, with its 13th century fortified gate tower, is the last remaining one of its kind in the UK. The average cost of a detached property in Monmouthshire is just over £233,000. That's some £21,000 below the national figure. However, there are some hotspots to watch out for. The historic town of Usk is one of the county's most desirable places to live in and could cost you double the national average. Move further south towards the coast around Caldecott and you'll get much more for your money. Now, throughout this county, there's a rich mix of architectural styles to take your fancy. Monmouthshire's rich history and geology is reflected in its architecture. Old red sandstone, the rock that forms the dramatic scarps of the Black Mountains, is the most widespread building stone and found mainly in the northeast and central parts of the county. The colour varies from a strong purple through to grey, the most prized being the pinkish grey stone quarried around Tintern, which was used to build the historic abbey as well as village residences nearby. This three-bedroom cottage in Shire Newton is on the market for £295,000. Many properties in the region are built using blue pennant stone. This fine-grained blue-grey sandstone was used extensively in the 19th and 20th centuries for churches, community buildings and farmhouses. This four-bedroom detached property near Abergavenny is priced at £650,000. There are some beautiful architectural styles here in Monmouthshire, but will any of them meet our buyers' expectations? Let's go and find out. Married for 36 years, author and management consultant David and Ellery have been living close to the Berkshire town of Bracknell since moving from Wales over 25 years ago. Now that Ellery has retired from her job as an English teacher, they can make the longed-for return to the land of their birth.
I'm from North Wales, though my family's from the south, so I have a real affinity for South Wales. And
Yeah, I grew up in Abergavenny, which is beautiful. When we drive back, we go to see friends and relatives. You pass the sign, welcome to Wales, Croeso Cymru, and you feel like you're arriving home. You relax and it feels warm. It's always been like we've been on a piece of bungee rope, so we've always felt that tension that's pulling us home.
The area they've chosen is Monmouthshire, and once they move, Ellery is thinking of using her teaching skills to get involved with the local community.
I'm not sure how useful my Welsh will be, but since it is my first language, it would be quite nice to actually go back and possibly teach people to speak Welsh.
David plans to continue his writing, which he mainly does online.
I've got a couple of thousand books in the subject area of the website. And they're all over the house at the moment, but I'm going to need somewhere to put them.
So they'll be needing a study and maybe even a library in their new home in the country. But their main demand is for a spacious property.
Current house is a 1960s, very characterful cedar ceilings with a beautiful sense of space and balance and flow. And that's one of the things we really liked about it, and we'd like in the next property as well.
Sense of space is important, isn't it?
Yes.
Doesn't mean isolated, it just means a sense of space.
They also hope the Welsh countryside will enable them to enjoy more time outdoors.
I think I would like to do more walking with the dogs. I've been fitting it in an hour or so before work, often in the dark, up to now, and be able to go for long walks with the dogs would be really good.
Wouldn't mind getting some more involvement in the local community. I, for example, would join a local photography club.
As cash buyers, they can move quickly, and they have a healthy amount to spend.
The budget for the move is £500,000.
David and Ellery's preferred search area is in the triangle between Chepstow, Monmouth and David's hometown of Abergavenny. I caught up with them on a rather rainy day to find out more about what they want from their new home in the country. Now, you love the home you're in at the moment. In actual fact, you'd like to bring it to Wales, wouldn't you? But that's not going to happen. So ideally, what are you looking for here?
We want a sense of space and flow that so you can relax and be comfortable and not feel like you're constricted and there's no awkwardness about the place.
Bedrooms?
Minimum of 3, 4 would be good.
Like a bit of land?
Oh, a bit of land for the dogs.
Can't forget the dogs.
And the vegetables.
And the vegetables, yes.
Yes. So about half an acre or so?
That'd be lovely.
Yeah. So remind us what your budget is for this move.
Our budget's £500,000.
And how quickly can you move?
Pretty quickly. We're not constrained by things like jobs or mortgages, so we can get up and go. More about the right place, and then we'll work on the time.
Well, that's a great position to be in. We've got 3 properties lined up for you. Hopefully, at least one of them will hit the mark. It's now absolutely pouring. So should we jump back in the car and go and see the first one? Yeah. Come on. With £500,000 cash to spend, David and Ellery are looking for a home with plenty of space and character. They'd like a large kitchen, preferably with a utility room, a study and space to store their books, a minimum of 3 bedrooms, a large garden for their 2 retrievers and maybe for growing some veg, and a garage for their cars. We found 3 properties that we think will dazzle our house buyers, and at each, I'll be asking them to guess the price before I reveal it. One, of course, will be our mystery house, which comes with a lot of high-spec surprises. So let's get our house search underway. With location top of the agenda, we're heading to the historic village of Tintern on the western bank of the River Wye. Tintern is a popular destination for visitors due to its 12th century abbey, and the surrounding countryside is great walking terrain which will please our buyers, as will the village bookshop, which is a draw for rare book enthusiasts. Nearby, the old mill has been converted into a restaurant and tea room. To the north of Tintern lies the hamlet of Botany Bay, which is where we find our first property, a stone-built cottage dating back to the 1880s. So luckily for us, the weather has vastly improved. Here is your first house. Or should I say cottage?
It's very pretty.
Isn't it beautiful?
Yes, it's lovely.
Well, it looks just like a photograph.
It does.
It's a beautiful setting, isn't it? And
It's lovely.
So you're intrigued, ready to step inside?
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
please, yes.
Happily, they appreciate the situation and character of our cottage, but can it deliver the space they're used to inside? It's time to find out. So come through, you've got a porch, and it leads straight into the dining room.
Oh, yes.
Lovely, cosy room.
It is lovely.
What about the dimensions? Because it is a cottage.
Yes.
It is only the first room.
Possibly a little cosy for our two large dogs.
Yes. Two very large dogs.
Yes. As you say, it's the beginning of the so we need to see it in proportion
Yeah.
with everything else.
So I detect a bit of disappointment in this first room, but the second is an entirely different proposition. So you've seen the dining room, but through here, you've got a double sitting room
Oh, lovely.
Oh, this is nice.
That's
with your wood burner.
Oh, brilliant.
Hey,
That's
excellent.
brilliant, yes.
good. I love that.
Another room beyond, and you can see where the wall changes colour. It sort of mirrors the porch, if you like. It juts
That's right,
out.
it does, doesn't it? Yes.
That's an office, currently used as an office.
Very interesting.
Now, Dave, you have a few books, it'd be fair to say.
Well, business and psychology, a couple of thousand. And then Larry's got her English books and...
And you as well. So are we
About
talking
3,000?
like 3,000 books?
About that.
Or perhaps the dining room could be a library. Or, just a thought, that second half of this sort of double sitting area, you could have it as a study, but you could also have it as a library. Does that work for you?
Yes, it does.
Because that was extended, that part of the house, there's a downstairs shower room with a toilet, and there's a guest bedroom upstairs.
Okay.
So there's a set of stairs, you can sit just the other side of the burner. So we like it so far?
Yes.
Yes, we do.
This generous reception area has brought them back on board. But let's see how we fare in the kitchen. So not a huge kitchen, but beautifully fitted out.
It is lovely done. It's done
Yeah.
very well.
Really nicely done.
Dave, big cooker.
Yes.
I think you've got everything you need.
It is absolutely beautiful setting, you know, to be able to sit here and look out onto such lovely greenery.
What do you think, Ellery?
It's very, very pretty and clearly functional. Size bothers me a bit because I think 2 dogs, 2 of us,
Yes.
could get a bit crowded.
So space is proving to be a bit of an issue with this pretty cottage. The ground floor also has a bathroom just off the sitting room area. Upstairs gives them 3 bedrooms. Along with the one at the far end of the house, there are 2 others which are accessed via the main stairs. The guest double is bright and dual aspect, and they'll find their room is equally as charming. This is the master with a guest the other side of the stairs.
It's a pretty room.
It is pretty. Yes, I
very
like all the
nicely
windows.
done.
The light coming from front and back.
Yes. You're looking out on that, that's lovely.
It does have an ensuite shower room as
All
well.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as masters go, would this work for you?
Downstairs there's more of a sense of space, particularly in the lounge. But here, that sense of space has gone. It's very much a cottage up here.
Yeah.
Despite the character and views upstairs, Ellery and David are still feeling pinched by the space inside. Maybe they'll be swayed when they see outside, where, as well as a useful double garage, there's an orchard. So this property has an impressive front garden. Behind these huge bushes, you've got, well, probably around 1.5, 2 acres.
Gosh.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, the location's absolutely beautiful.
Yes, it's gorgeous. And I suppose location-wise, it's quite convenient for both Monmouth and Chepstow.
So it's really, if cottage living is for the two of you. I know it's very different from where you are now, but I'll let you have a ponder on that because I'm going to push you now. We've got to talk money. How much do you think this house is on the market for?
450.
Okay.
I'd say 470.
Ellery is closest.
Really?
£459,000.
Okay. Only just.
Yes. Well, would you like to both have another look around this cottage? Also check out the land. Very suitable for the doggies.
Yes.
And I'll catch up with you when you're ready.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So, a good start. It is the most beautiful cottage in the most idyllic setting. I just don't think it's quite big enough for the two of them. On the market at £459,000, this beautiful cottage is well within their budget. It gives them a spacious living room with a study area, a dining room which could be turned into a library, 3 bedrooms, all wrapped up in a plot of over 2 acres in the heart of the countryside.
It's a very, very pretty little cottage. The problem is it's idyllic in many ways, but we've got too much stuff, I think. We've got so much stuff, I don't think we could downsize enough.
The gardens is brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. It goes on forever. There's a huge garden at the back. We're actually pleasantly surprised by a lot of the attributes of the house.
Happy? Have you seen enough, you two?
Yes.
Yeah, good first house, a good start.
Yes, yes, very much so, yes.
Yes, it's a lovely house, lovely place. The question is, can we downsize enough to fit into it? Because it is smaller than our current house.
Oh, OK. Well, let's keep going. You can think about that, can't you? In the east of Monmouthshire lies the Wye Valley, whose river charts the natural border between England and Wales. Within this spectacular landscape sits Tintern Abbey, with some of the finest monastic ruins in Wales. The countryside above Tintern is home to a creative couple who, over the past 25 years, have designed and landscaped a 4-acre site to produce one of Britain's most original gardens here at Vidu House. They are photographer Charles Hawes and maverick garden writer Anne Wareham, who's not a fan of the hands-on side of gardening, but loves the end result, a view which might well capture Ellery and David's imagination. We arranged for them to visit in order to gain some inspirational garden and photographic tips.
It's a beautiful place here. What was it like when you came?
Well, it was actually 2 fields. It did take a while before it felt like a garden was emerging around us.
We've had, all these years to slowly put it together, depending on how it's looked as it's grown. The garden's for enjoying being in and looking at. I don't like gardening. It's outdoor housework.
A professional photographer since 1999, Charles is going to pass on some of his expertise to David in a part of the garden that has inspired him most, the reflecting pool in the hedge garden. The local landscape of rolling hills is recreated in the shape of the hedges around the water.
I think working with a tripod for a professional photographer becomes second nature. But you get lazy because you like to stand up like this, and actually what you need to do is start getting lower and sort of looking, really looking at kind of what's possible, to get that kind of ideal image. The next thing, obviously, is are you going to take it as a portrait or as a landscape? And that's the other thing that I really love at this point in the garden, that this image can work in both ways. And then it's really about kind of getting down and composing the picture.
I love the way you've got flat surfaces and the curves,
Right.
and the straight lines.
Yeah.
It leads the eye beautifully.
Yeah, thanks. Well, that's what we're still working on, and we still sit here and discuss these curves and still are making slight changes. Another couple of years to go and we'll be there, I think.
So while Charles and David reflect on photography, Anne shows Ellery some of the garden's highlights and the thinking behind their creation. Anne has a great interest in the history of the local landscape, and she based this formal garden, set in a pattern of box hedges, on the local tithe map of 1842.
One of the things about gardening on a slope like this is that we've got the the view. So from here, it all had to be fairly flat, which was part of the reason for doing the grasses parterre, because it was important to keep this area of planting low. You see, if I planted trees and shrubs in this area here, we'd have cut out the whole of this view.
Do you think the garden's complete, or have you got anything else planned?
Well, keeping it going is going to be the big thing, which is why I make it as easy as possible to maintain.
Both Ellery and David seem impressed with this very photogenic garden. And David has certainly got some lovely photographs out of it. But it's time we sharpened our focus and got back to the search for their new rural home. We've made the journey close to the Welsh border in the valley of the River Monnow to the village of Grothmont, which is a 20-minute drive from both Abergavenny and Monmouth. The village has a real sense of civic pride and is home to many historic buildings, including a well-preserved Norman church and castle ruins which date back to the same era. There's also a tea room and a local pub, which serves food and real ale. Our second property comes in the form of a substantial stone barn, dating back around 200 years and converted in 2008. So we started off with our first property, showing you a very pretty cottage, beautiful location, but a little bit small for your needs.
Yeah.
So for our second home, well, something completely different.
It's lovely.
It is really
It really
nice.
is pretty.
It is. Beautiful setting as well.
Is this what you had in mind when you wanted to move back to Wales?
I did. Look
Yeah?
at the open space, it's wonderful.
Should we start the tour?
Yes, please.
That'd be great.
First impressions are very favourable for this lovely barn conversion, and as they'll see inside, space is something it offers in abundance. So come straight through. Now the first thing you two are going to notice is a serious lack of furniture. So we do have a blank canvas to look around.
Oh, the amount of light's wonderful. Look at the thickness of the walls, they're amazing.
The thickness.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
The beams are nice because often you get dark beams which kind of make it run rather heavy.
Now books. Now let's be honest, you're not going to downsize that much, are you? You're not going to get rid of your extensive library.
Every book is very, very hard to give away.
It has a home,
It has a home, yes.
and next door could be the perfect home for your library.
Brilliant.
The sitting room could house Ellery and David's extensive book collection. Let's see if they agree.
Wow.
It goes all the way up.
It does.
Look at that.
A vaulted ceiling. You could either put a mezzanine floor in here.
Ooh,
Absolutely,
Or-
yeah. I was just thinking that.
You could have some fantastic bookcases.
Yeah, it's nice. It's got doors out to the garden as well.
Yes.
great
That's
room,
lovely.
isn't it?
Now we've dealt with rooms for relaxing and reading, we'll turn our attention to the kitchen, which is back through the living room on the other side of the hallway. A kitchen.
Yes, this is wonderful.
A spectacular kitchen?
It's spectacular, yes.
It's really, really nice.
Okay, I'm staying here. On, off you go.
You're done, are you?
I'm done, this is it.
You've seen enough of the house.
Oh, absolutely, this is it, the kitchen.
I'll take it too. Do you have that in? I'll have that in.
It's wonderful. Look at the space.
There's plenty of space. Plenty of space.
Next door, you can probably see you've got a very large utility room.
Right.
I'm getting so many positive noises. This is really good news.
Yeah. It's got flow. You know, the whole thing works together.
Yes.
Downstairs, we haven't seen upstairs yet, but downstairs.
The downstairs flows beautifully.
Yeah.
Despite being unfurnished, they're clearly able to imagine themselves living here already. That sense of flow continues upstairs, where there are 3 bedrooms. Both guest rooms are a good size and share a bathroom, while over the other side of the landing is the largest room.
Wow.
It's rather grand, isn't it?
It's very grand.
Beautiful. Those beams are amazing.
Yes. Wow. It's huge.
It's beautiful.
Got an ensuite.
Yep. That's nice.
Yeah, lovely.
It is glorious, isn't it?
This is beautiful.
You both seem very taken with this property. So let's go outside, look at the land, and discuss how much this house is on the market for.
Okay.
The space outside extends to 2.5 acres, and there's a shed at the side of the property. Time to soak up their reactions to the setting.
It's It's wonderful. Listen to that. Wind. That's it.
Quiet.
Yes.
The odd cow, and that's about it, isn't
We
it?
can live with cow.
Yeah. So I've now got to ask you, money. How much is it on the market for?
I reckon this is 595, 600.
I'd say 560.
Okay. All right. You're both out by quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
£499,950.
Wow.
What?
Your ideal budget was 500, so I can give you £50 change.
Wow.
Really?
Has that taken you by surprise?
I'm completely gobsmacked.
That is temptation on a stick.
Isn't it just?
We've given you a lot to think about. Have a wander around. Have a look around the grounds as well, because it is so important with the dogs. And then give me a shout when you've had enough.
Okay, doke.
Okay.
Don't be too long now. Well, what can I say? I think it went very well indeed. Coming in £50 under their preferred budget, our spacious barn conversion is well within our cash buyer's grasp. It provides a massive kitchen diner, a high-ceilinged room that could be perfect as a study cum library, 3 bedrooms, all set in 2.5 acres of land for them and the dogs to enjoy.
This house is amazing. It's so beautiful. I mean, it's stunning outside and it is beautiful in here. It's perfect. You walk in and everything is open, it's light, it flows, and there's space for our stuff. And we've got a lot of stuff.
This is a very surprising place. It's got character, it's got flow. You walk through and things fit, they work together. It's really good. I love the way this works.
They've been ages. Ages. Have we seen enough?
No.
No?
No, I'm staying.
You can't stay. I've still got another house to show you both.
That's got to be pretty good to beat this one.
Okay.
It is. It's brilliant. This is so much better. This is just us.
We've set the bar high.
You have indeed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Well, I'm going to have to now drag you away.
Okay.
So, as dusk falls over the beautiful Monmouthshire countryside, day one of our property search ends on a real high note. Welsh-born author David and retired teacher Ellery want to close the book on busy Bracknell, Berkshire, and start a new chapter in Monmouthshire. Coming with them are their 2 dogs and 3,000 books. So far, they've seen a period country cottage that they felt might be a bit of a squeeze, and a beautiful barn conversion with lots of positive flow. But coming up, our mystery house challenges their current lifestyle.
It is spectacular. It's like a rock star home.
Are you feeling like a rock star? Come on, Dave.
I'm beginning to.
And I learn more about the ongoing restoration efforts at Chepstow Castle. We've shown David and Ellery 2 properties so far. Now, the first one, the cottage, was a tad too small for their needs, but the second, our barn conversion, certainly hit the spot. So much so that Ellery didn't want to leave. Which brings us to our mystery house. Now, the first 2 certainly had age on their side, but with our third home, well, it is completely different. We've made the journey to the heart of the Wye Valley and the pretty village of Llandogo. We're around 8 miles north of Chepstow and a similar distance south of Monmouth. Set on a steep hillside overlooking the River Wye, with views of the Forest of Dean, it's a stunning location. And before heading for our mystery house, we're popping into the village shop to get a flavour of life as a resident here. Hello, Mr. Brown. Good to meet you.
It's nice to meet you, Nicki.
Now, David and Ellery are hoping to buy in the area. So will you tell us a little bit more about the village?
We've got a thriving community here. The main asset we've got is our village school. We've got an art centre here. We've got a good village pub and a lovely church. It's really what makes the village so nice, and it works so well because people that have been in the village for a long time with their children and then their grandchildren still living in the village.
Hopefully, you never know, you might have 2 new locals on your hands.
Be very nice.
Thank you.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
very much indeed.
So now it's time to find out the mystery that comes with our final offering. Ellery and David are definitely after character and space in their new home, and we're going to deliver that, but not in the way they're expecting, as our mystery property is a superb contemporary build completed in 2011, and the views from its hillside location are breathtaking. So once you've caught your breath, here is your mystery house.
Wow, that is big. That's different. Look at the height of that.
Yes.
It's just glass.
Stunning, isn't it?
What marks would you give that view?
Oh, 10.
Oh, no. 14 out of 10.
14!
Look at that.
Has it been worth the climb?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
The mystery continues with this property. Inside, there's another set of stairs to climb to reach the living space, as the layout is upside down. But they may well have to sacrifice some of their belongings to live in this minimalist-style home. It's a little bit of a treat, isn't it?
Wow. Good heavens. This is something completely different.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
It's fantastic. You would never think
Gosh, how
a
beautiful.
house like this was here.
Yeah. I love the way that across here you've got 3 windows and it's like 3 pictures.
Yes.
And it's not just pictures, it's the world out there. Just a stunning view.
Everything is brand new. Absolutely everything. And it's the finishing touches, even down to...
That's a television set.
Really?
Yes.
That is absolutely brilliant. That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm kind of lost for words here.
You wanted light and airy, spacious.
Yes.
Follow me through. Because I want to show you the kitchen.
Look at that fan.
It is.
I think it's a fan, isn't it?
It's an extractor fan.
This is where you're cooking. I'm sitting over here looking at that with a glass of wine.
Yeah.
Yes.
You've got a wrap-around balcony going through, again, making the most, because the sun sets over there in the west. So you'd have sun all evening as well if you're out there having drinks.
Oh, lovely.
So for a change, I normally say, shall we head upstairs? But on this occasion, I'm going to say, shall we head downstairs?
Okay.
Okay.
On the ground floor of this immaculate property are 2 very good-sized bedrooms, both with 2 windows, to make the absolute most of those views. The bathroom they share is beautifully finished and comes complete with a walk-in power shower. There's also a very spacious utility room down here, but we're heading for the largest of the bedrooms. This is the master. And again, it makes use of the views. All the bedrooms actually make use of that view.
That's great.
Yes.
It is spectacular. It's like a rock star home.
Are you feeling like a rock star? Come on, Dave.
I'm beginning to.
Stop it, you might start singing.
Behind the pillar incorporated is a dressing area, and then you've got a fantastic ensuite. So should we head outside?
Okay.
Right.
You would like to lead the way, David?
Okay.
They've been dazzled by the high-spec interior of our ultra-modern mystery property. Outside, there's around 1/3 of an acre of sloping land, and the house has been designed to take in those views. Come out onto this spectacular balcony. Is this the type of property you expected to find in Monmouthshire?
Not in the least.
No, definitely not.
So, how much is this brand new house on the market for?
Oh, 550.
Oh, I was going to say that, but I'm going to say something different now.
You're allowed to agree if you want to.
I mean, okay, I'll say 550 as well because we agree on this.
Okay. It's less than that.
Okay.
Oh,
£495,000.
really?
Yeah.
Wow. Didn't expect that.
A lot less than you thought.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. Why don't you have a wander around
Yeah.
and I'll catch up with you in a little while. And have a serious think. Is this going to be right for you?
Well, let's go and walk and talk.
Okay, let's do
don't.
that.
See you in a little bit.
Right.
Under budget at £495,000, our modern mystery house is a complete departure from the rustic character they might have been expecting. However, it does give them a fabulous kitchen diner, 3 bedrooms, a private garden at the front and woodlands at the back, and panoramic views across the Wye Valley.
It was an outstanding mystery house. We'd never have thought to come to look at this one. It was definitely worth coming.
This is a kind of Zen house. You can sit here and you could probably not move for a long time. It may be a bridge too far for us in terms of our lifestyle and how we want to continue. It would need a complete change of how we live.
So have you enjoyed our mystery house?
We certainly have.
It's impressive, isn't it?
It certainly is. It's amazing.
It's a distinct mystery. It's
Yeah.
absolutely, it's extraterrestrial inside.
And tell me you never would have found this house on your own.
Oh, absolutely not. It's a great choice. Fantastic.
Good. Excellent. Well, I think the 2 of you should have a talk and then the 3 of us should sit down and have a serious discussion.
Good plan.
Come on. Because of its geographical location as the gateway to Wales, Monmouthshire has historically been of great strategic importance. During the reign of William the Conqueror, the Normans turned their attention to Wales and built over 50 castles, which acted as military strongholds to subdue local uprisings. The imposing riverside castle at Chepstow was one of the first to be built in stone following the Norman conquest. To find out more about this imposing fortress, I met with Rick Turner, Inspector of Ancient Monuments with Welsh Government body Cadw. What a fantastic spot right by the River Wye. Standing, this amazing castle. How old actually is it?
Well, the oldest part of the castle goes right back to the Norman conquest, so it's over 900 years old. It is the oldest castle in Wales. The oldest part's just behind us, this great tower on the hill. The most prominent feature is the great doorway with the circular arch above with this crisscross carving. And it's been framed by a line of orange Roman tiles reused from a site close by.
I can see there's conservation work going on here at the castle. There's scaffolding and workmen. It must be an ongoing project, keeping on top of it.
It never ends. We at Cadw have got 127 sites to look after, and we're constantly at work trying to maintain them and keep them in the best condition we can.
One of the castle's most powerful residents was the 5th Earl of Norfolk, Roger Bigod, who in the late 13th century built magnificent living quarters, including a guest chamber, which has been the subject of a recent restoration programme. Also being restored are 2 sets of 500-year-old doors, a 9-month project using the skills of conservator Alan Martin. Now, even to my inexperienced eye, I can see there's an awful lot of damage here. What exactly has gone on?
Well, fungal decay has set in. This is some of the fungal decay. And then the larvae of the death watch beetle will tunnel away and eat the decayed timber.
Gosh, it really has gone to town, hasn't it? Have you found anything interesting while you've been working on the doors? Any stories?
Yes, we found musket shot in some of the decayed timber.
Have you any idea when it dates back to?
Probably 1648 when the castle was.
Yeah, there were 2 sieges of Chepstow Castle in the English Civil War, and these doors were modified to allow pistols to fire through them, and the shot I think that Alan's recovered were people from outside shooting back into the castle because they were on the outer face of the door. That's right.
Yeah, they were on this face, which would have when they were closed.
Faced the enemy.
So the bullets actually would have passed through the door?
Yeah, there were cavaliers who were defending the castle and the parliamentarians were out in the town attacking.
My goodness, it certainly seems some action. Work on this door will include adding new strips of timber and treating it with a resin consolidant to help seal any cracks and restore the wood. Once you finish this, there's going to be another project here, won't there, at Chepstow?
It's I think, like death and taxes, conservation never finishes.
Our architectural heritage is obviously in the hands of a very dedicated team here in Monmouthshire. I've really enjoyed my tour of Chepstow Castle and seen just some of the restoration work that's being carried out. But it's time to find out if David and Ellery have made a final choice on any of our houses. David and Ellery, is it lovely to be home?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. It is home, and it always has been.
So let's start with the very first property that we showed you. Beautiful cottage, absolutely beautiful. But tell me what you thought.
The location was lovely, wasn't it? And the garden was
Yep.
stunning.
Yeah, it's a picture postcard cottage.
What about the size? Because although you were both very taken with it, as soon as we walked through the front door, there were a few issues there, weren't there?
Yeah, you walked into the dining room, which wasn't that big.
Though it was a beautiful kitchen, beautifully appointed. It was just too small for both of us, plus the two big dogs.
Yeah. So then we showed you something completely different from the cottage, the converted barn. Ellery, do you want to start with that one?
That was a real surprise because I loved it. I was surprised how much I loved it. And the land, although it was overgrown, put it that way, was wonderful.
Felt great as it went in, the flow through from one room to the other, with character. You know, it just worked very well as a house.
Well, I certainly got some very positive vibes from you both on our converted barn. Let's talk about our final house, of course, the mystery.
Yes, you couldn't get three such different properties. And the third one was just ultra modern, you know, different world.
Minimalist. As you said, the views were stunning from every window.
Yeah. So you've seen our three properties here in Monmouthshire and, well, I certainly got the impression that you were very taken with one of them. So what's your next move going to be?
I think the barn's a possibility, don't you?
The barn's a very distinct possibility.
Do you think you might be putting an offer in? Oh, you both took it in. The big, the breath, I can see. So you're trying to be really cool, but look at those smiles. It's giving it all away. Come on, that was fantastic. Yes or no?
It's a distinct possibility, isn't it, Dave?
It is a very distinct possibility.
If you buy that house, please, please let us know, won't
will
you?
do.
And thank you very much, Nikki.
You're welcome.
Thank
It's
you
been a
so
pleasure.
much.
Well, I've had a great few days here in Monmouthshire with David and Ellery. And when I put them on the spot and asked them if they were going to put an offer in on that beautiful barn conversion, well, there was a sharp intake of breath. They burst into smile, didn't they? I think it says it all. I really hope it works out for them and they return home to this beautiful part of Wales and live in the house we found them. Until next time, bye-bye. Sadly, house number 2 was sold before David and Ellery could revisit it, but they have since made an offer on a barn conversion just outside Abergavenny. If you'd like to escape to the country in Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland or England and need our help, please apply online at bbc.co.uk/be on a show.